Today, my friends, our wetland assignment is to make a piece of art representing a wetland. Art is something that a person creates to represent his or her ideas or feelings, or that is just made to be beautiful. We are going to create art using a style called Cubism. Okay, so you are going to look in this book at what is Cubism. Okay, that's what we're going to look at in this book. And then I'm going to show you some examples of wetland pictures that I created using this style and the materials that I gave you. And then it'll be your turn to go make your picture. All right. So this book is called A Look at Cubism, and it is written by Sneed B. Collard III. Chopping things up. Imagine taking 4 photographs of your school, each from a different side. You cut up the photographs and choose a few pieces from each one. Then you try to arrange the pieces into a new picture. What would your new picture look like? Would you still recognize your school? What would it tell you about the world? These are the kinds of questions that led to a new kind of art called Cubism. Artists for a changing world. 2 artists invented Cubism. Their names are Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque. They began painting in the late 1800s. That was like 130 years ago. Okay. Until this time, artists had tried to copy the world around them. They tried to draw and paint people and things as we all saw them. So in these pictures on the right side, you can see the 2 artists. Pablo Picasso is on the top, and he was born in 1881. That is 140 years ago. And he was born in Spain, and his father was an art teacher, so he learned a lot from him. On the bottom is Georges Braque, and he was born in 1882 in France. And his father was a house painter and also a decorator, so he learned a lot of skills and ideas from his dad too. But the world was changing rapidly. Factories were replacing farms. New scientific discoveries shifted the way people viewed the world. Picasso and Braque wanted to create a new kind of art. They wanted art that fit in better with the new world around them. They realized that we don't look at the world from one fixed point. Our view of people and things is always changing. They asked themselves, how can we paint this changing viewpoint? One way was to paint an object from several angles. For example, some parts of a person might be viewed from the right side. Other parts might be viewed from the left. Arms, legs, eyes, and mouth could be moved into different, unusual positions. The viewers might still recognize the picture as a person, but now they weren't just enjoying a pretty picture, they began asking questions about how they looked at the world. Before the Cubist movement, the most important thing in art was the subject, what a painting or sculpture was about. Now the art itself became important. Some people loved the new approach, others hated it. One thing was certain, Cubism turned the world upside down. The art of Picasso and Braque changed as rapidly as the world around them. Their paintings became more abstract. This meant that subjects became harder and harder to recognize. Picasso and Braque also began gluing paper, printed words, cloth, and other materials onto their paintings. These kinds of paintings were called papier collé. Papier collé is a type of collage. Prior to Cubism, collage was not an accepted artistic practice. Artists may use newspaper clippings, photographs, ribbons, wood, and even portions of other artwork in their collages. As Picasso and Braque became more successful, other artists also began making abstract art. Many artists did cubist painting or sculpture. Others took abstract art in different new directions. Today, millions of artists still study the cubist paintings and sculpture of these two men. Picasso and Braque did more than invent a new kind of art. They continue to stretch our imaginations. All children are artists. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up. That is a quote from Pablo Picasso, so one of our artists that we were studying. I'm going to say that again. All children are artists. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up. Okay, so you are an artist, and now you get to create your own piece of cubist collage art. As you do your assignment, remember that artists often work on a piece over time, so you don't have to do this all at once. You can stop and clean up and come back later in the day or later in the week. Here is a collage that I made using the same materials that I gave you. I took my time making this and I did it over 2 different sessions. So I did part of it and then I cleaned it up and put it away for a few days and then I came back and I finished it. Okay, what do you think of this collage? Does it look maybe a little bit like some of the cubist things that you saw in the book? What do you see? Can you see where I was going with my wetland? Do you see how I drew on top in a couple of places to show some details? All right, now here is a different one that I made. Yours should be your idea of what you like and think is important in a wetland. Don't try to copy mine. Use your own ideas. When you're done, send me a picture. Have fun doing this assignment.